passing day as she lay. Mia was an aspiring writer who often found herself battling a frustrating cycle of procrastination. Her dream of completing a novel seemed to slip further away with each passing day as she labeled herself as lazy. Yet, deep inside, Mia knew she wasn't lazy, she was simply stuck. One evening, her best friend Ethan, a physics teacher, offered a perspective that changed everything. "You know about inertia, right?" he asked. "Objects at rest stay at rest. And objects in motion stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Your writing is stuck because you haven't given it that initial push." At first, Mia rolled her eyes at Ethan's physics analogy. But later, lying in bed, his words echoed in her mind. The idea of inertia resonated. What if her inability to start wasn't laziness but the natural resistance of an object at rest? Determined to test Ethan's theory, she decided to take the smallest possible step forward. The next morning, Mia set a timer for 2 minutes and told herself she'd write for just that long. To her surprise, those 2 minutes turned into 20, and she found herself immersed in her story. That initial push, so small and unassuming, had broken her inertia. Inspired, Mia began to adjust her approach. Instead of setting daunting goals like write 5,000 words, she told herself, write 50 words. These smaller tasks felt achievable and lowered the mental barrier to getting started. Each time she completed a task, she celebrated with something small, like her favorite tea. Over time, these small wins built momentum. Not every day was easy. On days when procrastination loomed large, Mia leaned on another of Ethan's suggestions, the 2-minute rule. If she didn't feel like working, she'd decommit to just 2 minutes. Once she started, she often found herself continuing long past the timer. This method became her secret weapon, helping her overcome resistance time and again. Mia also applied the principle of momentum to other parts of her life. She started a daily yoga practice by committing to just one pose. She cleaned her room by setting a timer for 5 minutes. These small actions often led to bigger accomplishments, reinforcing the idea that starting was the hardest part. One weekend, Ethan invited Mia to the park. There, he pointed to a boulder at the base of a hill. "Let's move that," he said with a grin. Skeptical but intrigued, Mia helped him push. At first, the boulder barely budged. But with persistent effort, it began to roll, gaining speed and momentum as it moved. "See," Ethan said, wiping his brow. "Starting was the hardest part. Once we got it moving, it didn't need as much effort." Mia carried that lesson with her. Every task she faced became a boulder at the bottom of a hill. Her job wasn't to push it to the top in one go, it was to give it that first nudge. By consistently taking small steps, she transformed her relationship with her goals. Months later, Mia held the first draft of her novel in her hands. It wasn't perfect, but it was finished. She called Ethan to share the news. "You were right," she said. "It really was about getting started." "You did the work," Ethan replied. "I just reminded you of the science." Mia laughed, feeling a sense of pride. She had learned that success didn't require giant leaps but small, consistent steps. The principles of inertia and momentum had reshaped not only her approach to writing but her outlook on life. And with that mindset, she knew she could tackle whatever came next.